I've just bought 8 innovations from Green Stuff World to see if they are real innovation or just gadgets to rob your money. Let's find out! Subscribe for the cat. First, I'll give you my definition of innovation. A hobby innovation should be a tool, a thing or whatever that gives you the following feelings. Holy shit, why didn't I have this tool earlier? It's so useful! So for every product I'm going to test, I'm going to grade them from 0 to 10. At 0, I can say that for me, it's a truly good innovation. And at 10, it's clearly a gadget that you want to buy, but completely useless. Like this one, number 4. Seems familiar? Or it's completely different than the scam series. Here we talk about progress. The first innovation is the liquid frost. The liquid frost is a saline solution which creates a crystalline structure simulating frost. It's something I tested 2 years ago. Let's just say that it's really good and really bad at the same time. Let me explain. This is my warm mouth for A Song of Ice and Fire. And as you can see, the liquid frost is still pretty good. I really do love the effect. But the same day I did this mini, I also did this giant. And as you can see, there's no more liquid frost. Where did it went? I don't know. Not in the bottle. And not on the bases. It's maybe just because they are giant, I don't know, but the 2 giants are empty and the warm mammoth is still good. I really don't understand why. So if you are lucky, the liquid frost is a good innovation, but if you're unlucky, it's a gadget. But the idea of using a saline solution to create crystal for bases is amazing. But I have to give it a 5 out of 10, because one time it's a really good innovation and one time it's a gadget. Let me know in the comment if you have already tried it, and maybe if you had the same issue as me. I'm interested because I don't understand why. Why it works here and not here. Next innovation, we have the brush rincer. I'm not very confident about that one. I do think now that it's a gadget, but I didn't try it yet. So let's see. Okay. We have instructions. That's a weird thing. I prefer IKEA instructions. Easier. I am careful. Don't panic! It's not so complicated. Stop! Oh! It worked! I'm not confident. So my biggest fear about this thing is that this area will be dirty in 3 or 4 times of using the water, and then I need to clean it, I don't know. The idea is when the water is dirty, you push that button. The water is gone, and new water come in. That's a cool idea, but I'm really afraid that this zone will be dirty forever. Dirty zone, clean water, not so cool. I'm afraid that the paint will stain the plastic. Let's see. I take red. Up. I take beige. Up. I take black. Okay. Water is completely dirty. I push the button. Dirty water comes out. Fresh water comes in. The water is not perfectly clean. You will destroy your brush to clean the zone. Let's take some purple metals. It's an old brush, by the way. Dirty water. Push the button. Dirty water comes out. Fresh water comes in. It's not so bad, but you completely can't touch it. Water everywhere. If you are not really careful, up, water. Because this part is not fixed. If I lift the part, floating everywhere. See? Water! I think that's more a gadget than a real innovation. In fact, you can just get up and go rinse and clean your water. It's not a big deal. I don't think that is a good innovation, but more like a tool for lazy people. A cool tool for lazy people. Not great tool, because lazy people are often not so careful. So you maybe will lose more time cleaning your desk because of the water everywhere than painting itself. Think about it. I give it a 8 out of 10. because of everything I just mentioned. Just after my grade, okay, the button, poof, go to the sky. I need to open the thing and redo the build, because this part that I think is called Rincer is too strong for this little piece. Maybe your button will go away, just like that. The grade just went from 8 to 9. Definitely a gadget. A moist gadget. Toi, tu vas dans la case nique ta mère. Putain, m'énerve ça.
You are so French.
Toi aussi.
The next innovation is these hollow bases. If you've seen the video in which Rotigus was, you already know that my Nurgle base's color scheme is made with resin. The issue that I have with this color scheme is that I have to create texture barriers so that the resin doesn't overflow. For a big model like Rotigus, it's not a really big deal. But for 32mm bases, it's kind of annoying. So I found these bases which are already hollow and ready for resin. I have an Internet Deepkin army project, and thanks to these bases, they all could have their feet in the water. And that would be really cool. Because of the time saved and the idea in itself, I want to grade it as a real innovation. So I give it a 0 out of 10. Really useful, not so expensive, great innovation. I love it. Okay, our next innovation is the Hobby Paint Shaker. The idea is to have something that looks like a pen, on which you can put different size of recipient. I mostly bought it for Citadel pots, because the other one that I have mixing bowl in them. I would like to show you how it works, but I cannot. Why, you may ask? Because it's broken. This tool is crap. Thankfully, I have some video of it working. But there were two major problems. The first one is not its fault, but it's the Citadel pot's fault. As you may know, Citadel pots are not always perfectly closed. Very often you have fresh paint here. And how can I describe you what happened? Well, I put my pot on the handle just like this, with fresh paint here. Then I put the recipient on the machine, the pen. The idea of this tool is to turn really fast to mix the paint. Maybe you already see what's gonna happen. I mixed a retributor armor, and then there was retributor armor everywhere, on my computer, on my screen, on my desk, on my floor, on me, everywhere. It was not the best experience of my life. I was not feeling very smart at that time. That was the first major issue. The second major issue is that this pen is alive. After several use, I don't know why, but it was impossible to turn it off, and sometimes it would turn on alone in my drawer. One day I came early in the morning to work here, and I started to hear a noise. And I searched for 15 minutes what caused this noise, and it was this thing. I tried to turn it off with the button, but the button didn't work. I tried everything to stop it, and after 3 or 4 minutes, I lost my patience. See? It won't stop. So I started to hit my chair with it, just like this. It doesn't work. So I hit harder, and it stopped. He's not stopping right now, but the last time he stopped. And one day it was turning on alone again, and I was in a bad day. I hit really hard, and then crack, 2 parts. And ever since this day, it's still turning on by itself. There's no batteries. You have to charge it with a cable. So I cannot remove the batteries to stop it. I just have to let it die. So to conclude, I give it an 11 out of 10. And I am pretty nice with this grade. I hate this thing. I absolutely don't recommend it to you. And that's it. Move on to the next innovation. because this shit is a fucking gadget. The next innovation is this leaf puncher. I bought it because I thought that it could be cool for autumnal bases. The idea is simple. You put a paper here, in this hole, you push, and here comes a leaf. Let's test it. Here is paper, here is the leaf punch. I put the paper, I punch, and leaves. Oh, it works. Oh, tiny but looks good. I'm surprised. I didn't think it could look as good. You can even use it as a stencil. I guess it could be better if the paper was painted before, but I will try with PVA glue to put the leaf on the base and under here, and put the paper on the base. Repeat the step. It's beautiful. Honestly, I was not convinced at all before this. But in fact, that's a great tool. I will punch again. I will become a serial puncher. There are a lot of different shapes on the website of FLUOR. What I love is that I can both use the leaves and the holes as a stencil. Imagine having a camo color scheme on a lemon rose, for example. It could be helpful. To be fully transparent, I love this joke. I'm quite surprised with this tool. I want to grade it a 2 out of 10. That's a cool innovation. I love it. Next innovation, let's talk about the color shift metal. The idea here is to transform your miniature into a tuning car. As you can see here, there is some violet and here some green. But in practice, that's not so good. That's not the same tint here and here. That's the color shift, and that's a regular purple paint metallic. I have a yellow light just here, and you can see that it reflects a little bit more on this than on this. I will turn the light off to see the difference. Okay, now we only have the two lights I used for painting. That's interesting, but it's not working as I thought. I was expecting a really tuning effect. I will finish it and we will see at the end. Usually I shade my metals with wash. But here the effect is not as I want it to be, I guess. And another thing really weird is that when I airbrushed the wash on this color shift, it smells like my girlfriend's shampoo. I don't know why. It's really weird. That's the first time I smell something like this when I'm painting. And so the effect is not good. Remember me the Eldai Combat Patrol this year. Okay, never mind, I will finish it anyway. Like this. I painted this marine with this paint, and the result was not as I expected it to be. On the bottle, the instruction says to apply the paint on a black undercoat. That's exactly what I did. But maybe I applied too much layers. I don't really know. It's hard to see when you paint it if it's good or not. I didn't try it with a brush yet, so let's try it together. You need to shake it well, obviously. And as you can see here, on my palette, it's green. I really don't understand this paint. It's green on my palette, it's green on my brush, and it applies purple. So I'll try to make a thin coat to see the difference with the airbrush. It's really weird. I mean, it's purple, but on a little area here, it's green. But just a tiny area. I really don't understand how it works. In the end, I don't think that's a cool or great innovation. Let me explain. It's surely a good idea, but in practice, I don't even know how to describe that. On the paper, the idea is really cool, but in practice, it doesn't work. Maybe on an Aeldari vehicle, it could work, especially on a Harlequin vehicle, but other than that, I don't think it's really useful. So I give it a 7 out of 10, because the idea is really cool, but it's not working. Next innovation is the FLUOR color range. The idea is to have a cool, really saturated paint which reflects the UV light. Wow, it works. 0 out of 10. Bye. Subscribe. I tested it on the Space Marine on the lenses. And as you can see, without UV light, it's pretty good. It's green lenses, okay? But when I turn on the light, boom! I also put little dots of this paint under the UV light resin, which is the next innovation, and it works too. I have something to confess. A few months ago, I started a video which will be released on this channel in the future. This video is the second one of my series Painting Like. The first one was on Dave from Infinite Brush, and the second one will be on El Miniaturista. I didn't finish the miniature yet, but for the green, I searched his green and didn't find it. So I tried to find an equivalent. I bought the game color FLUOR green, which is named fluorescent green. Ever since today, by testing this innovation, which I thought was unique, I took the stuff that I've painted with the Vallejo one and just had the idea to turn on the light. Woohoo! Amazing! So in fact, it was not a true innovation because it already existed, but the idea is really cool. The paint is good, you can apply it as a green fluo really easily. Maybe you won't always have a UV light to make it fluorescent, but the idea is really cool. So you can use it as a green or a fluorescent paint. And maybe if you are creative, you can create a diorama with UV light into it. And it should be really cool. So, because it's a useful tool with even more, I want to give it a 3 out of 10, because it's a really cool tool. And you can buy it from Green Stuff World or Vallejo. Both have different color in the range. Last but not least, the UV resin. Just like the last two, I tried it on this Space Marine. As you can see, it filled the base completely. It's pretty cool and easy to use. You just have to open the resin, pour the resin, and then turn on the UV light and let it dry. And it dries really quickly. I just made a basic thing here. Just a negative point compared to the traditional AB resin, it's that it's really thick and it's harder to mix paint in it. Just like I made on this bad boy Rotegus. I mixed some green in the resin, and it makes a swamp effect. With this resin, it's more difficult. But if you want to have a great and quick look with the resin, this one is really good. You don't have to wait 24 hours for it to dry, and that's a great advantage. So I really want to give it a 1 out of 10. It's kind of a true innovation. I love it. I will surely use it more in the future. And that's it! Let me know in the comments if you want me to test more innovation, and which one if you have ideas, and let me know if you have tested any of the one tested in this video. I would like your review. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, bye! Leave a comment and subscribe. Oh, I will find you and I will light you.